Hello, dear pupils. I'm very glad to welcome all of you in the House of Knowledge. It's our first lesson and experience in such way of teaching and studying. My name is Катекаев Г.М. Ребята, добро пожаловать в Дом знаний. During the webinar, you are free to ask any questions on the topic of the webinar, and I'll give you answers during this or the following webinar. You must write your questions, and I'm going to ask you some questions too, so be ready. Before we start, check the sound, the picture. I think everything's okay, and we are ready to start. As you have watched our video lessons and asked us some questions, I've prepared answers to some common questions on the topic. And the topic of our webinar includes different things from the symbols of London and famous world monuments to use of English. As you have learned, one of the symbols of London is a river. Do you know how is the main river of London called? Ребята, вспомните, как же называется одна из самых главных рек в Лондоне? Well, of course, it's the Thames River. The Thames River is one of the sights of London. Tourists come to admire the beauty of Cleopatra's Needle, Big Ben, and the House of Parliament. In fact, the river isn't just a part of the scenery. Without the river, London wouldn't exist. Let's look back into history. 2000 years ago, a Roman army decided to cross the Thames at a point where a bridge could be built. That was the beginning of the city of London. The Thames connected the settlements of the Romans at Kent and at Colchester. All foreign traffic and goods had to cross the Roman bridge. That's why the nearby land grew into a key port, thus increasing trade with the continent. On the south bank there is Battersea Power Station, built to provide electricity for Londoners. There are over 200 bridges across the river, 6 ferry crossings and more than 25 tunnels and a cable car crossing. But the bridge that symbolizes London to most people is Tower Bridge. Much of London's wealth has been generated by the trade and industry brought by the river. The river became badly polluted in Victorian times. Industrial waste flowed freely into it. There was a terrible smell. All the fish died. Since the 1950s, new laws have controlled industrial waste and sewage levels in the Thames. Now the river is much less polluted. Fish have returned to the cleaner water. Pleasure boats sail from Westminster and Charing Cross piers, taking some visitors to Greenwich and Hampton Court Palace. To protect London from tide, the Greater London Council decided to build a barrier across the river at Woolwich. The floodgates lie on the riverbed in normal weather, but can be raised to shut off dangerously high waters. London could never have lived without the Thames. Ребята, запомните следующие слова, связанные с нашей сегодняшней темой. A bank – берег реки. Reach – достигать. Provide – обеспечивать. A mouth – устье реки. To supply – восполнять, доставлять. Fame – слава. A symbol – символ. To admire – восхищаться. Enough – достаточный. Rowing – гребля. Thirst – жажда. Attack – нападение, атака. Export – экспортировать. Famous – известный. As the Thames River is one of the symbols of London, other countries and cities have such famous monuments that can be called symbols of the world. Во всем мире существуют такие же символы, с которыми у нас связаны определенный город или страна. I have a question to you. I'm sure you know many of the famous monuments of the world. What city does the Statue of Liberty symbolize? Какой же город символизирует статуя свободы? Well, I think it was an easy question. The answer is New York, of course. Next question. Can you tell me what country does the Monument of the Great Sphinx symbolize? А какой же город символизирует данный объект? Yes, the Great Sphinx symbolizes Egypt. By the way, this monument is the biggest stone sculpture made by man. My friends, let's now get to use of English. We are going to talk today about phrasal verb to set. Set aside – накопить. Set in – приходить. Set off – отправиться. Set back – отодвигать. Переводить стрелки часов назад. Повернуть колесо истории вспять. Замедлить, отбросить назад. Ребята, постарайтесь составить предложение с данным фразовым глаголом. Remember these meanings, but if something is unclear, you can always ask us. There are some synonyms that can be easily confused by pupils. В английском языке существуют синонимы, которые с легкостью можно перепутать, так как они имеют схожие значения. Today we are going to talk about some of them. The verb bring, fetch, deliver. Глагол bring употребляют в значении взять с собой, принести с собой. I'm going to bring an umbrella with me. Я собираюсь взять с собой зонт. I would like to bring my friends to the party. Я бы хотел взять с собой друзей на вечеринку. Самое распространенное значение глагола fetch – принести что-то, достать что-то. She opened the safe to fetch her passport and money. Она открыла сейф, чтобы достать паспорт и деньги. Вы можете также встретить словосочетание to fetch somebody something – принести кому-то что-то, и to fetch something for somebody. Обратите внимание на употребление предлога for. Глагол deliver также имеет значение принести, но с оттенком доставлять что-либо куда-либо. Сравним следующие синонимы. Voyage, journey, trip. Существительное voyage означает путешествие на корабле, морском и космическом. On his sea voyage he didn't have time to think about work. Во время своего морского путешествия у него не было времени думать о работе. Существительное journey обозначает длительную поездку. Отличие journey от trip заключается в следующем. Journey означает перемещение на большие расстояния и длительное путешествие, а слово trip употребляется, когда речь идет о непродолжительных поездках. Существительное trip переводится как поездка, прогулка, путешествие. Как правило, это путешествие в какое-то место на короткое время с конкретной целью. Well, my friends, our webinar is almost over. Remember that all monuments around the world are in danger because of air pollution and bad ecology situation. So we are able to change the situation to better. We have just to do our best. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.